Good morning, everyone. It is Friday, April 8th, and this is episode 66 of How to Pay Off Mortgages in 7 years. And I'm excited to get started this morning, and we're going to hop right in. What do you say, Jarrett?
Good. Sorry, I was writing in the chat. That sounds amazing. Really excited for this room. Thank you to the 25 people in the room on Clubhouse. And thank you to everybody that's tuning in on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. This is the best room and the best channel on Clubhouse. How to pay off mortgages in 7 years. We can take your 30, 40-year mortgage and give you a strategy to cancel year after year after year by using this method. So you're spending less money on interest costs to the banks and redirecting it into your kids' inheritance, your investments, or just your fun and family vacations. So if you're in this room right now, consider yourself lucky and makes others lucky as well by sharing this information with as many people as possible by clicking that share option on Clubhouse or clicking those share options on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. And then on Twitter, feel free to retweet this room so that everybody in your network and on your timeline can see this. With the recession coming up, this method is going to be super, super important for everybody's financial outlook. And everybody's financial outlook looks differently. Therefore, we want everybody to raise their hands, write their questions in the chat, take advantage of this free 2 hours that you're going to get with Don, because outside of these 2 hours, there is no free time with Don, and rightfully so, because he saves people tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars in interest that they can basically utilize for so many things. But this room right here is your opportunity to get a free interaction with Don. And what it does is not only help you with your 2022 outlook, but it helps the others in the audience understand the information better. And to help make the information easier to digest, Don does this live in the studio. So you'll actually be able to see the amortization chart, the interest costs, the calculations, everything live on the screen. And if you want to do that, you can go to ice10kvideos.com. And I'm actually just going to drop this in the chat as well. Some instructions. So I just did that. All right. So if you want those instructions, go to the chat. But you go to your iPad, your desktop, or your laptop, type in ice10kvideos.com. That'll take you to Don's YouTube channel. Once you get there, subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you'll be able to see the videos pop up on a regular basis. And as well, go to the panel that says live, click that, and you will be directed to Don's live stream, where you'll be able to see all the information broken down. Once you see the information broken down, we'd love for you to turn the volume all the way down, raise your hand, come on stage, and ask him a question and watch the examples on the screen. So we're really excited for this room. We're going to do some quick moderator introductions. Before we do that, I'm going to let the host and the inspiration of this room introduce himself, the method, and what you can get out of today's room, and also what you can get from his company. So Don, it's on you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Don Daniel. I'm the founder of P.I.L.L Method International, a better way to eliminate debt. And I have a book by the same name. Now, a better way to eliminate debt. How did we come up with that term? We've been doing this for 16 years, helping people to do just that, pay off their debt in a better way. And every time we work with a person, I'm talking about every single time, they tell us we were looking for a better way. And that's how we came up with the subtitle to the book, A P.I.L.L Method, A Better Way to Eliminate Debt, because they had tried the other ways. They tried refinancing. They tried the rounding up of the payments. They tried let's say a biweekly payment. They tried the snowball method. They tried the avalanche method. All right. And some people are actually successful with those methods, but it took them longer than they wanted. And then some of them actually realized that the amount of interest that they are paying is way too much. And now what we're trying to do is make sure people understand how debt really actually works. The way that we've been paying these mortgages, the way we've been paying these loans is 88 years old this year. And something that is so common to all of us, having to use some type of loan somewhere in our lives, we've never had a class on how the interest is charged and what we can do about it to eliminate most of it. We can eliminate 50 to 75% of those interest payments if you just know what to do. And I'm not talking about lowering the interest rate. I'm talking about not paying the interest cost. We need to focus on interest cost, not interest rate, because interest rate is not an accurate indicator, or it does not tell us how much interest we're actually paying. What do I mean by that? Well, if you have a 30-year mortgage, let's say you have a $200,000 mortgage for 30 years and it's at 3%. And there was a time when 3%, man, 3% interest rate, that's great. But with that, the bank wants you to pay $103,000 interest on a $200,000 loan at 3%. Folks, that's not 3%, that's 51%. I'm going to repeat that. $103,000 you're signing up to pay on a $200,000 mortgage at 3% for 30 years. The bank wants $103,000 in interest. So how does that 3% become 51%? And then because it's actually 51%, how does the P.I.L.L method get it to the point where we're only paying $20,000 to $25,000 instead of the $103,000 the bank is looking for? And how do we do that with our current budget, not needing more money, and we can have a great lifestyle to boot? I mean, you don't have to eat beans and rice and ramen 7 days a week, or drive a 30-year-old car, or cut up your credit cards. You don't have to stay home and not go on vacation and create memory and not be able to create memories for your children. You can have a great lifestyle, save money, and get out of debt in an average of 7 to 9 years on average with what you're already making. We're going to show you how to optimize the use of the money that you have, disrupt the bank's timing so it makes it impossible for them to charge you the interest. Jared, I can't wait to jump into it this morning. Go ahead. Let's do some moderator intros.
Yes, yes, yes. All right, all right. So, hey, everybody, would love for you to come up and ask questions. If that doesn't inspire you to ask a question, I don't know what will. But look, this is some really great information. And every room we do, I learn something new. But more importantly, every time somebody asks a question, they come off stage with a clear direction on their mortgage, on their car loans, on their student loans, or on their credit card debt. So closed mouths don't get fed. Raise your hand, come on stage. There are no dumb questions. All right, so my name is Jared Albritton. I've been in the tech space for over 15 years. On Clubhouse, I like to talk about being an early adopter in the metaverse and NFT space and crypto space, as well as anything that's going to create financial wealth. So if you want to see content like that, or if you're looking to break into tech, I host a room where I have 50 plus recruiters on stage. You can check it out in the replay. You can go to jarrett10k.com and you can follow me on Twitter, LinkedIn, as well as Clubhouse. All right, up next is Kenyatta.
Good morning, good people. My name is Kenyatta, and you can find me at kenyatta10k.com. And I am passionate about helping you build generational wealth, and I can help you do that by helping you to find a deal, finance that deal, cancel the interest on that deal, to find you yet another deal. You guys, actually, recession has already started. The first time home buying benefit, it has been taken back, and so now you can't even get assistance for your first time home purchase. But don't you fret, because you're in the right room. Right now is absolutely the best time for you to tell a friend or a family member about this room. And if you want to learn more about how to pivot in this market and prepare to take advantage of the next market, please back channel me and let me know. And if you are on YouTube or another, platform, reach out to me at kenyatta10k.com.
10K cards, you around? All right, you might be with the kids. Kelly, you're up next. Kelly, are you around? All right, so I think 10K cards and Kelly are occupied at the moment, but click on their profiles, check out what they do, and I highly recommend you give Don, Kenyatta, 10K, and Kelly a follow. So we would love to start the room off with the question. So Karen, all the way down to Tamara, if any of you have a question about how the heck do you take a 30-year mortgage and pay it off in 7 years, or if you have a question about your refinance, your mortgage, a house you're looking to buy right now, should I make that big down payment? Car loans, credit card debt, feel free to come to the stage. Until then, Don, I think we should go ahead and prime up an example on the screen. And again, if you want to see this on your screen, check out the chat. I wrote down some clear instructions where you can go to your iPad, your desktop, or your laptop and just type in ice10kvideos.com so you can see the numbers and the charts big on your screen. And you can stay in Clubhouse as well in case you have a question. So with that being said, Don, I'm gonna pass it back to you.
Okay, listen, I mentioned this morning that about how mortgages actually work, and we're starting from the interest rate is not what you end up paying. The interest rate that you're quoted is not the interest cost you pay. We're going to put that on the screen this morning, and we're going to show several examples of that. All right.
Hey, Don, before you get into it, I forgot to mention this.
Come on.
When Don's about to break down this is so important. I want more people to be able to see this, and sharing is caring, especially in this recession that we're about to experience. So here's some instructions for everybody. There's a number 6 at the bottom. That's that little share icon. 6 people have shared the room. Thank you so much to the 6 people that have. There's 24 people in the room right now. We'd love to see this number 6 turn to 20. And this is how you do that. You click that share icon. You click the top button that says share on Clubhouse. You can put in a statement, or you can put in some emojis, or you can just click share. I'm going to put some gems. I just click share. Now you see that number 6 turn into a number 7. If everybody could repeat that step with me, click that button, click share on Clubhouse, share this room. We'd be super appreciative. And we would love for your network and your timeline to see this method as Don's about to break it down. All right. Back to you, Don.
Hey, the Credit Goddess just came into the room. Credit Goddess, are you ready to do a quick introduction before I jump into this example?
Yes, sure.
Excellent.
Hey, happy Friday, everybody. Hey, moderators. Hey, everyone in the audience. My name is Rose Laura Lewis. I'm also known as Credit Goddess. I'm all things credit and the official credit expert for the P.I.L.L Method crew here. I'm a credit score improvement strategist, business credit consultant, and an educator at Be Free University. I teach credit on that platform. If any of you guys have any questions in relation to credit, definitely come on up. And also share the room, as they said, bringing your friends and family so that way we can share this wealth knowledge. Thank you so much for having me here. You guys stay tuned.
All right, Rosa, listen, let's talk a little later. I have somebody who is in need of your services.
Awesome. Thanks, Don.
All right.
I have someone that's in need of your service too.
Oh, well, listen, we'll share. This is what it's all about, folks. It's about sharing with each other. All right. So listen, I'm going to go over this one example, Jared.
Hey, Don, by the way.
Yes.
We have somebody from Clubhouse that just came up on the stage, Karen.
All right, let's go. Let's talk to Karen.
Yeah, Karen, so thank you so much for coming to the stage. We really appreciate it. This room is so much better with interaction. So be like Karen, raise your hand and come on stage. But Karen, please let us know what kind of question you have for us.
Good morning. Thanks for having me. So I'm in a 15-year mortgage. I think I have like 10 years left on it,
Mm-hmm.
and I keep getting notices from my uh, mortgage company to refinance at this time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't refinance during the pandemic. My rate is 3.62, and like I said, I think I got 10 years left,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm getting these notices like, they can save me maybe 10,000 or 12,000. Is that really worth it to refinance at this point? I don't think so. I
Mm-hmm.
figured if I threw a little more money at my mortgage each month, I could somehow save as well without doing a whole refinance.
Well, let's say let me ask you something. Is it your same mortgage company?
Yes,
Okay, so your same mortgage company that has you at a higher interest rate is offering you a lower interest rate.
correct.
Okay. Are you in business at all, Karen?
No,
You're not. Do you know some people who are in business?
yes.
Okay. Without naming any names, what type of business? Give me one of those businesses where you know a person is actually in business.
Vending machine.
Vending machines. Okay. So if they have a vending machine in, so they put the vending machine in a certain locality, and then what they're going to do is saying, listen, if you put my vending machine in here, I'll give you a certain amount of money that the vending machine is going to produce. Is that how they do it?
Right.
Okay. So what if your friend came to you and said, listen, I went to one of my people who have a bunch of my vending machines, and it's doing quite well, and we have a deal. And I went back to the contract and I said, you know what? On this contract, I'm not paying you enough money. So your friend says, I'm going to renegotiate the contract and I'm going to give you 5% more because I wasn't fair to you before. Has your friend ever said anything like that before?
Never.
Okay. So you have a mortgage and it's at a higher interest rate. Your bank is coming to you and saying, Karen, guess what? We're charging you too much money. And they're going to come back to you and say, we want to give you a better deal. Is that
And
simple?
charge me closing costs.
And charge your closing costs, but it's going to be a better deal. So they're trying to save you money. Is that why they're in business?
No.
No. So if you're saving money, that would mean they'd have to be losing money. Just like your friend, if he's paying, if everybody is satisfied with the contract, okay, and then he goes back to them and says, without even being asked, he says, you know what, that contract we signed, let's get rid of that. Let me give you a whole new contract where I'm paying you more money. What would you think of your friend?
He trying to play me.
Okay, so exactly. So now but nobody thinks about the bank saying, "Oh, we can refinance you to a lower interest rate." And here is why: because everybody hears that, and 9 out of 10 people, if they can get a lower interest rate, do you know they will refinance that loan? Yeah.
Well, I got kind of I had another friend that did do a refinance, but they didn't pay any closing costs.
Okay. Again, if they are saving money by refinancing, who's losing money?
Right. They still gonna lose because the bank not gonna take a
The
loss.
bank's not going to take a loss,
Right.
especially if it's your own bank that has you locked into a higher interest rate.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay.
what we need to do is learn how to read this thing and see the numbers. Are you able to see any of our examples this morning on a
No,
tablet
I'm
or
not
computer?
looking at any
Okay.
examples.
Well, then you're going to have to watch the replay then. Okay.
Okay.
So here's the one other thing that I'm going to do. Did you start out with a 30-year mortgage?
Yeah, I started with a 30-year, then I went to a 15.
You went to a 15 because that 15, you were going to pay less interest overall, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so what we need to do is instead of taking advice from the banks, we need to figure out what we can do to save money without them giving us a product. Now that we're starting to think about it and ask more questions, if a bank is offering it and it sounds like we're saving money, should we look at it a second or a third time to try to figure out what they're getting out of the deal?
Right.
Right.
Yeah, of course.
Of course. Of course. So listen, here's what I'm going to tell you. And I'm going to put some examples on the screen, but you'll be able to see. All right. With your 15-year mortgage, it is definitely possible to save more interest on your loan, okay, and get out of debt faster without refinancing. I can tell you that right now. Okay. That's for sure. Number two, the next time you get a mortgage, are you in your forever home right now?
I didn't think I was until I got priced out during this pandemic.
Well, listen, things are going to change. So you would like to get another home. Is that what I'm hearing?
That 1,000%.
1,000%. So here's what I'm going to tell you. Always get a 30-year loan. Never, ever, 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 ever. And I'm going to say it 4 more times. Ever, 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 ever get anything less than a 30-year loan. Ever.
Okay.
When we handle a 30-year loan, the way we're going to be able to teach you is that all of our clients are done in an average of 7 to 9 years. I just got an email the other day from a client thanking us for helping them to pay off $307,000 in just 3.6 years without sacrificing lifestyle. And they were able to live well while they were doing it. And they didn't need more money. We just took what they already have and structured it differently so that they can give the bank back their money without paying them all that interest. How about that?
That's wonderful.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about your loan here. When you refinanced it, what amount of money did you borrow? About? It doesn't have to be exact. Just give us about.
I want to say it was right at maybe 200,000.
All right, 200,000. Okay, I'm putting it.
Something like that.
All right, something like that. That's okay. But it was.
Well, first of all, I started out. I got my home in 2005, so I was gifted one of those. You get a house, you get a house, you get a house type loan.
Come on.
And
you get a house, and you get a house.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So now we have $200,000. And what's your interest rate now?
My interest rate now is 3.62. I'm down to 150,000.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to start out at the 200,000. Okay. And now we have, but it was a 15-year loan, 180 payments. Okay. First of all, here's what I'm going to tell you. For everybody who's listening, who would like to have a 15-year loan instead of a 30-year loan. Did you realize you don't need permission to have a 15-year loan? You can have a 30-year loan, figure out what the 15-year payment is going to be, and start making it right away. You don't need to restructure the loan to do that. Did you know that?
No.
Okay, so let me show you something, Miss Karen. Okay, so you're going to be able to see this. So I'm putting in your 3.62. All right, and I'm going to put it in for 360 months. That would be for 30 years. Okay, your payment on a $200,000 loan at 3.62% for 30 years is $911.54. Now that's just the principal and interest. Okay. Now, and then they say, well, I'm thinking about getting a 15-year loan. All right. And so they'll do another calculation and they'll just change the number of payments to 180. Okay. And click instead of 911. Okay. All right. So wait a second here. I'm talking instead of pushing the right buttons. Okay.
Work those buttons. Just want to remind everybody that's new to the room.
Yes.
If you're an iPad, a laptop, or a desktop, you can go to your browser on those devices, type in ice10kvideos.com. It'll take you to Don's YouTube channel. Once you get there, go ahead and click the panel that says live, and then the commercial will play, and you will be able to see the example that Don's putting up for Karen on the screen. And if you're on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter streaming this live, feel free to ask questions in the chat, just like Karen is asking, and we will get to you after we get to Latoya on the stage. If you want to see these instructions written out, feel free to go to the chat wherever.
Okay. Yeah, Jared, for some reason you were just a little bit muffled. We did hear everything, but you were just a little bit muffled, just so you know. So Miss Karen, okay? So here's what we've got for you. All right. So if we did this loan at 30 years, it would be $911 for your payment. And a 15 years, it would be $1,441.58 for your payment. That's just the principal and interest. So you got that part, right?
Yes.
So if you had the 30-year loan, what would prevent you from making the payment of $1,441.58? Nothing. And that's the only difference between the 30-year and a 15-year is the payment amount. You do not have to have permission to make that 15-year payment. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So the next time, this is for everybody in the room. If you have a 30-year loan and you want to start making the 15-year payment, just put it in an amortization schedule and then figure out what the 15-year payment is and then start making it. That's it. It's as simple as that. Simple, just like that.
So then there's really just no need to do a refi. You just recalculate.
Listen, Miss Karen, I didn't say that. I didn't say that at all. You did. But once we start, listen, we're just learning just little bits about this thing, okay? So now let's get into what you're doing now. We're going to start with where you started on this loan, and we're going to take a look at it. And when you sign this loan for about $200,000 at 3.62% for 15 years instead of 30, they had to tell you that the interest cost for the 15 years is $59,484.40. Did you realize that's almost 30% of what you borrowed? It's 29.742%. It's not 3.62%. It's actually 29.742% of what you borrowed. $59,484 in relationship to the $200,000, because see, 3.62% of $200,000 is way less money than $59,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So already we're not being told the whole truth, are we?
No,
we're not. Okay. So now here's what we've got going on. Your very first payment on this loan, $838.25 goes to principal, because how they configure the amount of interest that you'll pay and the amount of principal that you pay is a formula that they use. So $838.25 of your money goes to principal. The $603.33 goes to interest, even though you got the 15-year payment and it's down to and you got that interest rate of 3.62. Your interest payment is still $603.33. How does that make you feel about the $600 of your hard-earned money going to interest?
Sick.
Okay.
Sick. Yeah, I'm at work now. Yeah, now I'm sick.
Okay. Oh, listen, please.
Yeah, I'm at work in the bathroom.
Please don't go home because of this. I promise to make you feel better, okay?
Wow, okay.
All right. So now let me show you what's happening here, because every month we allow the first of the month to roll around, we have to pay a new $600 interest fee. It eventually gets down to $500. eventually. All right. And then eventually to get down to $400 we're paying in interest every month. But right now it's between $600 and $500 a month, every single month. But if you give the bank money on your time schedule, did you realize you can skip those interest payments altogether?
But I thought that that 600 that interest was gonna be there no matter what I paid.
Exactly. That's what they want you to think.
Okay.
Now, I need you to visualize this, but when you see the replay, you'll be able to see it, okay?
Okay.
I'm looking at the first two lines, payment number 1 and payment number 2. If you make payment number 1 on time, you $838.25 of your money goes to principal, $603 goes to interest. On line 2, $840 goes to principal and only $600.80 goes to interest. So you pay a little less interest and a little more principal, but your payment stays the same.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, here's what the bank is doing. They're taking, when you pay your very first payment, you're left with $199,161.75. That's how much you still owe. They use that number to figure out how much you owe in interest on the very next line. Follow?
Yes.
All right. So here's my question. If we make our payment, let's say we make our first payment in January, that would mean February's principal payment is $840.78. That's what they want in February. But if you wait till February, they're also going to charge you $600 in interest, correct?
Correct.
So here's my question. Do you have to wait till February to give them $840.78?
No.
No. If you had it, could you give it to them in January?
Yes.
They would immediately subtract that money from what you owe. No interest comes out of that money. So there are times when you can give the bank the money and they can't charge you interest. How you like those apples?
That's great.
But don't to where am I going to get $800 yet? Okay, we're not there yet. Okay, I'm just teaching you now how the bank charges you interest and how you can avoid it. I just need you to understand the bank's math. Then we can get into how you're going to implement the system. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So don't get stuck down in those weeds. I'm just saying you're going to eventually give the bank the $840. I'm just helping you to realize if you give it to them on your time schedule, then what can actually happen. Okay.
And if at any time I decide to double up, that would wipe out the next month interest.
Now, when you say double up, what does double up look like to you?
800 plus the next month 800 of principal.
Okay, good. So it's just the principal, not your entire payment, correct?
Right.
Just the principal payment. Ooh, I'm so glad you said that. Most people, when they think of doubling up, they're thinking about doubling up their entire mortgage payment.
No, one part of it goes towards me, that's principal, and then they get the interest, right?
Right. So yeah, so we're not talking about the entire payment. We're just talking about the interest payment. I mean, the principal payment. How about that? So if we gave them the $840.78 early, do you know you wipe out line number 2 on your mortgage? It's gone. And your next mortgage payment for February is actually on line 3 of your schedule. So you eliminate one payment with only $840, not your entire mortgage payment. Number 2 line is gone. Can you visualize that?
I made the principal payment, so you don't get to charge me.
Exactly. They don't get to charge you the $600.80.
But they make you think that they do.
I know.
That's what I thought.
I know. All right. So here's what so I'm going to kind of cut this short so that you can see what's going on here. And listen, if you want to find out the month, day, and year you could be debt free with the amount of money that you can make, that you're making now. All right. Would you like to be able to say, okay, here's the amount of money I'm working with, Don. Can you help me pay a lot less interest and get out of debt sooner than the 10 years I have left? The answer is yes.
Mm-hmm.
If you'd like to know how to do that, you would go to ice10klive.com. Click the link at the top of the page. You will then see a button that says get a savings and earnings report. Follow the directions there and fill out the form that will pop up after you follow all the directions. When you put your information into the form, the financial form, then we're going to create what's called a savings and earnings report for you. And we'll be able to tell you, based on how much money you're making, the month, day, and year you could be debt free and how much interest you could save. Do you like that?
Yes.
Okay. So now let me finish up this example for you. All right. I got two more things to show you. All right. So in the first year on this loan, okay, because of how it's configured, $10,000 goes to principal. $10,227.56 goes to principal in the first year on this loan. And in the first year, the bank wants to charge you $7,000 in interest to give them the $10,000. That's a total of that's over $17,000 paid out in the first year on this loan. But you only get credit for $10,000 of it. Okay. Now this is not a suggestion. We're just showing you these numbers. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So now, because we're going to pay $10,227 in the first year, do we have to pay the $10,000 in 12 monthly installments?
Not if you have it.
Not if you have it, but if you have it, could you give it to the bank on line 1?
Yes.
If you did, would you be paid down to line 12 in 1 month?
Yep, and wiping out all those interest payments for each of those months.
And save that $7,000 for yourself.
Man, I'm pissed. I'm heated. Oh my God.
All right. Now, please don't be mad with me, okay? Because this is an example that is going to help everybody, including you. All right. And I want you to be able to leave out of the bathroom feeling good. But I have to, I want to show you one more thing. Okay. We're going to go back and I need you to kind of remember those numbers. And we're just going to make a quick change here. And I'm going to take this all the way back to a 30-year mortgage with the same amount of money. Okay. So we're going to change this to 360 payments based on what you know now. Because, see, you didn't know this before. All right. So now our principal payments to get rid of one line with the 15-year mortgage was $800 payments. And then we can skip $600 in interest, correct?
Right.
Okay. But did you realize with a 30-year mortgage, your principal payments are only $309. So if you're going to double up, would it be easier to double up with the $300 payments or the $800 payments?
Oh my God. And I can wipe out way more lines.
Exactly. So now that, remember that $10,000 we were talking about that just knocked out 1 year?
Right.
That $10,000 now knocks out 2.5 years. 2 years, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 years and 8 months. That same $10,000.
Mm-hmm.
That's with a 30-year mortgage. And here's what I need to tell you. The people who own the bank know exactly this. The people that work in the bank do not.
That makes sense.
Because they're doing their mortgages the same way.
Right.
When they're offered a refinance, they get it. And all they're doing is giving you the advice they would take themselves. Because to work in a bank does not mean you understand how an amortization schedule actually works. Because they're not teaching them that. You know what they're teaching them in the bank? How to sell their products. Giving them enough information on how to sell a bank product.
Right.
And it makes it sound like you're saving money and the bank is your friend. We're your friend. We want to save you money. In fact, we're such a friend, your own bank is offering you a refinance. And do you realize that if you look at the timing, the refinance offers come about every 5 to 7 years. You've been in the 15-year mortgage, you got 10 years left. That means those refinance offers are coming right on time.
Yeah, they're bombarding the box with
I'm telling you.
I had to call just to see, because I kept getting them. I was like, okay, I know they're not trying to help me, but let me call.
Well, listen, here's what we're doing. Here's what's happening. Somebody has to print up those offers that are getting in your mailbox, correct? Somebody has to mail them. Somebody has to pay for the postage for that. When you call, somebody has to be paid to answer the phone. Do you hear the cost mounting up?
Yeah.
Somebody has to be paid to answer the phone. And then when you call and then you give them the numbers, your information, guess what they do next? The person who answers the phone is not the person that's doing the loan. They have to send that over to a person who can now work with you and figure out what all your refinance offers are going to be, and that person gets paid too.
So let me ask you, when you say that I can take that 10 and just plop it down in January,
Yeah.
There are no repercussions or anything for that?
Nothing. Listen, let me ask you, are there any repercussions? You say you owe $150,000?
Right, I'm about at 150 now.
About right at 150. What if you found out that some long lost uncle you didn't know about left you, a $500,000? Do you follow me?
Yeah.
And you decided, I want to pay off my mortgage today. And you wrote a check for $150,000. Do you think there would be any repercussions? And they'll say, no, we don't want this money.
No.
Exactly. So there won't be any repercussions if you give them 10,000 at one time either. How's that sound?
Great.
Okay.
I
So
just ate up so late in the game.
oh, listen, you're not late in the game. You're early for your next mortgage. We're going to fix this thing up for you so you'll understand exactly what's going on and learn how to read an amortization schedule for yourself. And part of the education is my book that you can find on Amazon. It's been a #1 bestseller. It is The P.I.L.L Method, A Better Way to Eliminate Debt. And it is the only book out of 33 million titles on Amazon that teaches you what we're talking about today, how to read an amortization schedule and how to take advantage of it before it can take advantage of you. But we're not taught this in school. Guess who else isn't taught how a loan works in school? You ready for my short list? Miss Karen, you're on mute.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry.
All right. So Miss Karen, so we're not taught that in school. Did you realize if you have a CPA that does your taxes that you're working with, your CPA isn't taught this in school either. Your real estate agent isn't taught how an amortization schedule or a mortgage works to get their license. The person that is actually selling you this, who's doing the work, the loan officer that's actually doing the work on this refinance for you does not learn this in school either. None of us learn it in school. Guess who keeps all of that information to themselves? I'll give you one guess.
Oh, the bankers.
Exactly. They're not even teaching their employees. That's why the information isn't out. That's why it is not commonly known. And this is why we exist. So this information can get out. So here's what I need you to know right now. You know more now than everybody involved in your mortgage who got you your mortgage. So please don't go back and ask them, is this true? All right.
No, I'm more of a let me show you what I learned today type.
Come on now. Come on. And besides that, listen, this is our 66th episode of this. We have 65 other episodes on YouTube right now. If you want to go back and watch some of those, I would recommend it. And listen to the questions, watch the answers, look at the examples. Your example is going to be in this particular episode of episode number 66. And listen, I want to thank you for coming to the stage and asking your questions and letting us use your example to teach not only you, but everybody else. Do you have any other questions?
Thank you. And I'm definitely going to support and get your book.
All right. Thank you so very
so
much. You're welcome. Jared, back to you, sir.
Don, first and foremost, how does my voice sound now?
It's still a little muffled. Yeah.
How about now?
Still?
Okay. Not sure what's going on, but there was a...
No, this sounds good, Jared.
Yeah, Don, there was a request for you to turn your volume up.
Oh, all right. My volume?
Yeah.
Okay. How about, how's my volume now? Is it better?
I think it sounds good, but Kenyatta mentioned it sounded low to you as well. Kenyatta, what do you think? You there? Okay, she's not around. 10K, how does this volume?
I'm around.
Don,
better.
Don, you may have to start singing, Don. You may have to start singing. Let's measure the tone.
Okay. What do you want me to sing?
Interest cancellation.
Oh, no, we're not going there.
Okay, good. Just checking. Let me hear you.
Okay.
It sounds really good.
That's a little better, but Jared's volume is good.
How's that?
That's better. That's
okay.
Better.
All right. How's this? To dream the impossible dream.
No, Don, it's okay. Don, it's okay. It's okay.
All right. There we go. All right. Excellent. Okay. All right. There we are. Okay. So, folks, I hope our volume is okay now.
Anybody, if my volume goes off, let me know. But Latoya, thank you so much. You've been patiently waiting, so we're gonna get to you ASAP. But before we real quickly, I would love for the moderators that haven't had a chance to introduce themselves, get a chance to do so. So with that being said, Latoya, why'd you leave? Oh man. All right. With that being said, 10K, if you could introduce yourself, that'd be great.
Super good morning, family. How are you? One thing I learned in life, guys, is that family is the most important thing. So every morning between 8 and 9, I spend time with my two little superheroes, getting them ready for school, because those are experiences that you can't take back. But as a show of my support, I make sure I'm in the room to show the audience and the rest of the team members exactly where 10K card support is. And that's what done on the interest cancellation method. Because the reality of the situation is when someone can help you and your family to not only save money, but to construct your finances in such a way that it can grow, that is someone I want to spend some time with. So in this room, guys, my main focus is one thing, to not only endorse what Don is doing, because we solely believe in it, but to make sure that everyone to get a copy of Don's book also receive a 10K card. And then after you get the basic one, get in touch with us so we can work on getting you the upgrade. Because with the upgrade, that 20% can go towards your loan payment. So don't sleep on it, guys. If there's money on the table, let's go get it. With that said, back to you, Jared.
All right. Olivia, are you around? All right. And coffee is usually with their students. Giuseppe, thanks for coming up to the stage. Please introduce yourself.
Thank you very much on the stage and pumping me every time, Jared. I'm so very happy to be here. I'm a real estate investor, Italian, and live my American dream. In Florida, I started to invest in 2006, and I live in Boca Raton. Since 2006, I've been flipper over 1,000 property, and in Cleveland, I have over 100 employees. I'm happy about this result, proud about myself, because the last employee, they were homeless. And that is when people say, are you rich? Yes, because you can change the life for people. Money is energy. If your art is great, you can change the life of people. 107 employees, 3 company, management company, construction company, cleaning company in Cleveland, Ohio. And this is a real estate room. Happy to be here. And I'm looking for a new position. Please DM me. DM me on Instagram. I send you the email of my manager, and we're looking for a bookkeeper position, secretary position, and a crew and a general contractor to grow up my business. This is me. This is Giuseppe. Back to you, Jared. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Giuseppe. And yeah, make sure that you're checking out, make sure you follow Don on Clubhouse. Whenever he's on a stage, he's in the best real estate financial advice rooms on Clubhouse, and he's dropping gems. So make sure to follow Don. Click that always on notification next to the follow button. And also make sure you follow Kenyatta, 10K Cards, Credit Goddess, Olivia, Coffee, and Giuseppe. If you want quality rooms in your hallway, it's important that you follow the people on the stage so that when they're on a stage, you'll get notified. Or if you're scrolling the hallway, you'll see their rooms come up to the top. All right, so we lost Latoya. She might have to go into a business meeting or get to work. So hopefully she comes back. But it's good news for everybody in the audience, because now you can come straight on stage and ask your question immediately with no wait. So let's see who's going to take advantage of that. Go ahead and click that hand raise button. I will bring you up to the stage. You can ask a question. If you're on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, or Twitter, you can also take advantage of this opportunity by typing it into the chat. Don, is Kirk around? And if so, is there anybody online that has a question?
Okay, let's ask him.
Yeah, I'm here. And we don't have any questions online. A lot of people were responding to the previous example where you were talking with Karen. So Living Water Quilter said, thank you for the example. Tamara Staley put 2 gems and a mind blown emoji. So definitely folks were just reacting to what was being shared there. Tons of value, definitely. And so, yeah, if you are online, for those of you that are online watching on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, or Twitter, definitely put your comments in the chat. We want to be able to engage with you. We'd love to be able to show some examples based on your specific details as well. Or if you just have a general question, go ahead and put that in the chat as well. I'm monitoring, and I'm going to bring those questions in as best I can. So definitely take advantage of this opportunity.
All right. Well, we have somebody on Clubhouse who's taking advantage with an extremely adorable baby in their avatar, Sam Skeet from Florida. Please let us know what your question is.
Hello. Can you hear me? Am I coming in loud and clear?
Yes.
I'm on a headset.
Go ahead, Go ahead, Sam.
Okay. My question is, I'm gonna be looking to, purchase my first home here in the next few years, and I got a certain way I would plan that I came up with that I think is a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
So I got 2 questions. First question is, for example, let's say I make, 80 grand a year.
Mm-hmm.
When I go and sit down with the person looking for a house, I find a house I like.
Yep.
And how I want to do it is, okay, I make 80 grand a year, but I want to only search for houses that a person who makes 60 grand a year can afford.
Mm-hmm.
They ask you your financials, they ask you how much you make a year. So I'm going to tell the guy, instead of going off what I actually make, only show me houses that you would show a person who makes 60 grand a year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's the first question. You guys think that's a good idea? Second question is,
okay,
what is the best way of paying off a house in 15 years? Because I know the standard is 30 years, 6 mortgage. I'm
okay,
33 years old. I don't want to, take 30 years to pay a house off.
right.
60 something years old. By the time I pay it off,
Okay.
I don't want to wait that long.
All
I
right.
want to pay off a house. I want to pay off one house, actually 2 houses, and at times it takes a normal person to pay off one house.
All right, Sam. Here's what we're going to talk about first. Let me take the second part of the question first. Okay. To what is the best way to pay it off in 15 years? I don't know, because our average client pays it off in either between 7 and 9 years, not 15. So would it be okay to pay off that 30-year mortgage in 7 to 9 years instead of 15? Would that be okay with you? Sam, we can't hear you.
Yeah, definitely. It sure would, man. If I can pay off a 30-year mortgage in 7 years, I mean, I would be thinking that I must be in some type of fixer-upper house or something with doors, windows, something like that.
So let's take a look at your other question. So you say, well, let me get a house that a person that makes 60 grand a year can afford, and so that wouldn't be the way to go about it. Okay, the way to go about it is, how much house do you want to purchase? I mean, how many bedrooms do you want? How many bathrooms do you want? What kind of house do you want to look like? I mean, how much do you want to spend on the house?
The ideal house for me, I'm in Florida, so I
Yeah,
don't know if anybody here knows the Florida market, but
and it's
I
hot.
would like a house, with some land on an acre or two. I
Hmm.
want a backyard with trees and pine needles and stuff like that. Like I just want to live in like a nice house on some land. Like I'm real big on land.
Yeah,
I want to be out like, in a real those woody areas.
yeah.
I don't know how you classify those, but that's the ideal place for me. Big backyard, big front yard. I would
Okay.
personally take less house and more land with more house and less land.
And see, that's what you need to do, sir. I would make out that list and find out what we could do there. Okay. Then the next thing is to see, is to get pre-qualified for a mortgage to see how much mortgage you can actually afford. All right. That's number two. How much mortgage can you actually afford with what you're making? Now, let's take a look at what's really going on with the loan. I'm just going to throw some numbers out here. Okay. Let's just say, because you're in Florida, let's just say that we're looking at about $400,000. Okay. Now, if that's all you had to pay is the $400,000, I mean, that would mean you get 0% interest, and 0% interest, then everything you pay would go towards principal. And then what we could do is then do a little bit of math, right? I need you to watch this. And let's see here. We're going to pull up a calculator and put that on screen. We're going to take our $400,000, okay, and divide it by 360 payments. And if it was no interest, the payment would be $1,111. Okay, $1,111, and in 30 years you'd be done. But we have to pay interest. So it's not the um the size of the loan that's more important, is how much am I going to pay to manage that loan? Okay? So right now, a $400,000 loan is going to be about 3.5%, soon to go to about 4%. So let's put 3.5% in here. Okay. 400,000. Now our payment is not, it is $1,796. So it's not that much more than our $1,100 payment, correct?
Right.
It's not that much more. All right. But when you make your payment, only $629 of that money goes to the loan, $1,166.67 instead of going to your loan goes to interest. So what we teach is how to manage not paying all of that interest. because it's the interest that's the killer, not the size of the loan.
Right.
Even
That makes
though,
sense.
yeah, even though our payment is not that much more than if it was 0% interest. You've got a payment of $1,111, which would all go to principal, as opposed to a $1,700 payment, which is not that much more, but most of that money now goes to interest. So it never was the loan. It's always been the interest cost. And we look at interest rate. Now, let's say, well, Don, listen, you're talking about a 3.5. What if I can get myself a 2.9 interest rate? Okay. Now, right now, with the 3.5% interest rate, the bank wants a total of $246,000 in interest on a $400,000 loan. $246,000 in interest on a $400,000 loan. Did you realize that's 61% of what you borrowed? So that 3.5% goes to 61%. $246,000 on a $400,000 loan. So you end up paying $646,000. Okay. Is that what you want to do? Do you want to pay $646,000 for your $400,000 home, sir?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. So it's the interest that's the problem, not the amount of money that you borrow. So we're going to change.
How do we beat that?
How
do we beat the interest?
So you give the bank back their money at a time they're not expecting it. And it makes it impossible for them to charge you interest.
Right, pay it off early.
Yeah. So here's what we're talking about. Let me show you. In the very first payment on this mortgage, $629 goes to principal, $1,166 goes to interest. That's the first line. And I need you to kind of picture this and watch this video later. On line 2, $631 goes to principal and $1,164.83 goes to interest. That's on line 2. So now let's just say we're on line 1 and we make our payment. All right. We don't owe anything until the 1st of next month, correct?
Right.
Okay. But the 1st of next month, they want $631 to go to principal. That's the 1st of next month. Here's my question to you. Do you have to wait to the 1st of the month to give them that $631?
Absolutely not.
If you have it, could you give it to them in the same month?
You sure can.
If you did, you eliminate line 2 immediately. It's gone. Not for the entire payment, just for the $631 part. Line number 2 has been eliminated. Guess what happens to the interest on that line of $1,164.83? What happens to that?
It disappears.
It disappears as well. So when you choose what time to give money to the bank, you save interest at the same rate they're charging you. So, sir, the way to beat the bank at their own game is not to get less house than you want. Get the house you want. Get the house you can afford. Okay?
Right.
But pay the bank a lot less interest. So instead of the $246,000 that they want, what if we could do, instead of $246,000, let's say we can get that down to about $82,000 instead of $246,000 that they want. And you could be done with this house in about 7 to 9 years, and you don't have to sacrifice lifestyle to do it. All we're doing is showing you how to use your current budget more efficiently so you don't have to pay interest. Have you ever seen those shows where they do like extreme couponing? Where, yeah. And did it seem strange to you that these people walk out with a whole shopping cart full of stuff?
Yeah, two carts.
2 carts, and not only do they not pay money, but the cashier has to give them money. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, I have.
So here's what I'm telling you. Once you know how to play this game, you can buy your house for 75% off. It's like getting a big old coupon. How would you like to know how to do that?
Man, listen, I'm all ears, man. This is some good information, bro.
So at the top of the screen, you're going to see my link, and it is ice10klive.com. And if you click on that link, it'll take you to my digital business card. And with that digital business card, you'll see on the second line over on the right, get a savings and earnings report. So we can go over that early. Now, here's what I need you to do. Keep that information handy. And don't think about, I need to wait to get into my house. Do you know how many people have come to me and says, I need to wait? And I'm going to say, why? And they said, because I think I need to do such and such. I said, no, what you need to do is get with a realtor and get somebody to do, and then get with a lender and get pre-approved for your loan. And they said, well, Don, I've got some challenges and I can't get pre-approved. But guess what they'll do? They're going to give you a specific track to run on. And says, if you do these things, you'll be able to qualify for the loan much sooner. And sometimes, and listen, most of the time that I've given that advice to people, they were actually able to qualify at the time I told them, not 2 or 3 years later. But they let a professional go to work for them and said, listen, you can qualify now. I've done that with several people. And 3 to 4 months later, they're sitting in their brand new house because they do not disqualify yourself is what I'm getting at, sir. Talk to a professional and see if you can qualify for your loan now. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, sir, it does. Absolutely.
All right. And then while you're working on that, get with us and then we'll help guide you in because when you're getting a mortgage, there are so many different configurations. It's hard to choose what's right for you. We're going to help you figure out which loan is right for you and how not to make mistakes in setting up your loan. Now, here's the biggest red flag to look out for when setting up your loan. The more money it seems that the bank is saving you, the bigger the red flag. I'm going to repeat that one more time. The more money it seems like the bank is saving you, that's the biggest red flag of all. Because that's not why they're in business, sir. They need to get you a mortgage, but they're not in business to save you money. If it sounds like they're saving you money, it's going to cost you big time. You need somebody that's going to be on your side, helping you to navigate those waters to make sure your loan is set up correctly and set up in a way that is easier for you to pay off in 7 to 9 years, not make it harder for you to pay it off in 7 to 9 years. Let us help you. Sound good? Sam, you're on mute if you're talking.
That sounds good, man. Sorry about that.
All right, man. Listen, you have any other questions for us this morning?
No, thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Listen, check in with us, man, and get that book. Listen, we got somebody else who's going to get a book. Miss Karen says she's going to get my book. Miss Kenyatta, are you in the house right now? Because I know you have clients all the time.
There is a question
Yes,
online.
All right. So when Miss Karen says she's going to buy the book, so how's she going to get her 10K card, her digital business card that we're going to pay for? How's she going to get that card?
Congratulations for buying the book, Miss Karen. Now what you want to do is screenshot the receipt. Go to ice10klive.com or ice10kvideos.com and go to the section where it says I'm ready. Click that link. Go ahead and build out your card by putting in your social media handles, your email address, your website, phone number, obviously. And then let us know where you want to receive that 10K card, and you'll get your very own digital card valued at $100.
And that would be the same for you, Mr. Sam Skeet. If you get my book, when you get my book, we're going to make sure that you get a 10K card as well. All right, Jared, what's up?
All right. So thank you to the 17 people that have shared the room. We'd love for you all to continue to do so. So I'm going to share it again. I'm going to click share on Clubhouse. And now after all those that fire advice that Don's given, I'm going to drop some fire emojis. So that 17 just turned to 18. So if everybody can follow my lead and click where it says number 18, share this room. Love to see that turn into 25, 30, 35, 40 with 42 people in the room. And let's make sure that we're sharing this information during this impending recession that is coming up. Speaking about recessions,
yes,
I know we're going into this recession. It's going to take a special mindset to deal with that type of adversity. And we have an opportunity to convene with some of the best speakers and the top speaker in the world with Don, who is one of the best in person. Every time I see him do an in-person presentation, you get standing ovations every time. But May 20th to the 22nd, what's going on and where are you going to be, Don?
All right. Well, listen, we have a question online that we're going to handle right after this. But folks, in May 20 of this year, on the 22nd, the 20th through the 22nd, we're going to be in Nashville, Tennessee, live at the Gaylord Opryland Resort right there in Nashville. And we're bringing 16 speakers from Clubhouse, some of your favorite. I mean, some of the people that you are actually fans of going to be there. Jonathan Bing from and Miss Cooper Home Loans from the Real Estate Cap going to be there talking about the play. Jay Massey is going to be in the house. Otis James, Anthony Glenn. Listen, we have somebody, 3 people on the stage that's going to be there. Jared will be there talking about the metaverse and mindset. Kenyatta will be there talking about lending, of how to be a business purpose lender without a license, how she's able to do that. And listen, she's going to be there. You'll be able to meet her in person. Sean 10K Lashley. Oh my gosh. We'll be there talking about savage marketing, how to level up your business on marketing. And why is that important, folks? Because he's my business coach. So I know what he says is true. So listen, not only that, Shiloh Lindahl, Jacob Jennings, Stephanie Gutierrez, Flame Newton, Derek Forston, Dr. Delane Smith, Don Daniel. Ooh, who's that Don Daniel guy? We're all going to be there. And not only that, but the number one motivational speaker in the entire world is going to be there, Dr. Eric Thomas. Yes, it's your boy, E.T. And listen, we're going to hear from Mr. Eric Thomas right now. We want to play his video right now for us. Some of you will be able to watch it. Some of you will be able to hear it. But let's hear from Eric Thomas right now.
This is an opportunity of a lifetime. Your grandma counting on you to do the right thing. Your mama counting on you. Your cousins, your brothers and sisters are counting on you to cash in on this opportunity. Everybody want to be a beast until it's time to do what beasts do. There are kids that don't get what they don't eat like you eat. They're at the same university. They don't get what you get. But with this right here and your skill set, this thing can take you wherever you want to go and then take your kids wherever you want them to go. You know how many people would die to have the gear y'all got? You know how many people would die to get on these planes and travel the world? You know how many people would die to have your life? And you got it. Let's go. You got money, but do you got that dog? Yeah, you got money, you got privilege, but do you got that dog? Do you got that stamina? So yeah, you might have something I don't have right now, but if I work hard, I can have what you have. I want you to chant it out. This is it. Be phenomenal or be forgotten. 1, 2, 3. Be phenomenal, be forgotten. 1, 2, 3. Be phenomenal, be forgotten. Last time. 1, 2, 3. Be phenomenal, be forgotten.
a 5-star resort, we're going to be presenting all of this to you. If you were to add up just the 1-hour consultation to talk to all of these speakers that's going to be there, it would add up to over $25,000. But you get to be there with them for 3 days. Listening, we're going to have speakers on Friday. We're going to have speakers on the Sunday. Saturday is a free day. Saturday, we're in a family resort that is, it feels like it's outdoors, but is actually indoors. That's how big it is. So you definitely want to be there for this particular experience. It's not just a conference. It's an experience where we're going to be talking about developing a spiritual money mindset. Oh my goodness. I can't wait for you to be able to be there and see what's going on. And listen, folks, you want to get your tickets now. Go to ice10klive.com and click on getting your tickets. So the actual website is going to be live today. And not only that, did you realize that this resort is so nice that their rooms go for about $500 a night? But the P.I.L.L method company,
How much, Don?
$500 a night, $500 a night. But the P.I.L.L method company has renegotiated with Gaylord so that that the rooms now are $278 a night at a 5-star resort.
What Don is saying, he uses interest cancellation strategy and got them to knock off the extra. I'm going back on mute.
So, folks, get your tickets now, and you will get a link so that you can get this special rate for the hotel rooms while you're there. I'm telling you, it is fantastic. And most of the rooms have balconies that overlook the entire facility. You are going to love it if you've never been to a Gaylord property. Listen, folks, let's get back into it, Jared.
All right. No, that's awesome. That's awesome. So click the link up top. Definitely love to see you there. And we got a question online. So Kirk, please let us know what that question is.
Right. We do have a question from Living Water Quilter online. The question is, I received an inheritance. What are your thoughts about using some of it to pay a large sum towards mortgage principal instead of letting it sit in a low interest savings account?
Okay. So there's a couple of ways to take a look at that. I'm going to put that on the screen right now. We have this $400,000 mortgage on here. So we'll just use that as our example. Okay.
Okay.
So we got a $400,000 mortgage. Wait a second. Okay, there we go. All right, $400,000 mortgage here. And we're going to put in something that is going to be more, let's say 3.75. Okay. So we're going to put in an interest rate of 3.75 because interest rates are climbing. I want to tell you, if you're worried about interest rates climbing, don't worry about it, because it's actually using this system and learning how to read an amortization schedule, and then letting our program give you a track to run on, letting you know how much money to move, what day to move it on, what month to move it in, and which loan to attack. And you'll save thousands of dollars in interest if we guide you. It is actually easier and cheaper to pay off the loan faster with a slightly higher interest rate than a slightly lower one. The lower the interest rate, the harder it is to pay the loan off early and cheaper. I'm just telling you. All right. So here's what we got: $400,000 at 3.75. Okay. Now you could, if you wanted, you could take some of that money of your inheritance. And the reason why I chose this is because we have a situation not too long ago. One of my clients had a $400,000 mortgage and he has an extra $100,000. So he says, well, if I do this, I can put my $400,000, I can get my, got to get out of here. Okay. All right. and I wanted to duplicate this tab. There we go. All right, so I've got my $400,000. Okay, what is this? Nope, that's the wrong one. Here it is. My $400,000. What happened to it? It's gone. All right, hold on, folks. We'll get it fixed. So we got 400,000. There it is, and 360 months. I love live TV. All right, there we go. And okay, and let's see. We're going to use 3.62 instead. Okay, 3.62. All right. Now it says now I could take this information and I could put $100,000 down as a down payment, so I can have a $300,000 mortgage. So we're going to duplicate this tab. Okay. And say, okay, so I can get the $400,000 loan, or I can get a $300,000 loan, same interest rate, same 30 years. Okay, delete that. I'm going to delete this payment. All right, so now we have a new payment. Now we're going to compare the $300,000 loan to the $400,000 loan. So we got $400,000 here, and the payment is $1823.08. So if I put $100,000 down, my payment is $1367.31. So let's got 1823 versus 1367. So almost $500 difference. Okay, less than $500 difference, but between $400 and $500. So that's kind of where we are. So right now, if I put $100,000 down, it's actually going to be cheaper for me to make this payment. Now let's go down to what we see here as our summary. Okay, in the summary, the bank wants $256,000 interest on the $400,000 loan, which makes it 64% of what we borrowed. On this other one, we're going to make that just as big. All right. Now we're looking at $192,000 in interest instead of the $256,000. So Don, why wouldn't I want to put the down payment down? So I don't do down payments. I don't do large down payments. Give me the whole mortgage. The $400,000 is the better way to go. This is what I told my client. This is why would I do that? I'm going to save a ton of interest over the 30-year term. I said, well, if we take this $400,000 mortgage and you make your first payment, where is your $100,000? Says, well, my $100,000 is in the bank. I said, well, could you apply that $100,000 to principal on this $400,000 loan after you get it, after you close, not before, but after you close? Look what happens. We're going to go down to $100,000 on our amortization schedule here, the cumulative principal. And at $100,000, we take off 133 payments right now and save $141,000 in interest right away. And look here, folks, we're still at $300,000, but not for 30 years. If we take that off, we take off 133 payments, put our 133 divided by 12, we instantly take off 11 years. 11.08 years. 11 years is gone. So if we put it as a down payment, we start at payment number 1 on our $300,000. If we use that $100,000 as a prepayment instead, we still have a $300,000 loan, but we instantly eliminate 11 years worth of payments we have to make. So, folks, how would you like to use your money as a down payment or as a prepayment. Never, ever, 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 ever put a large down payment on a mortgage or a car. Never. Use your funds strategically as prepayments, and we will guide you as to how to do that to save the most amount of money in interest. I want to thank you, Living Water Quilter, for your question today. All right. Anybody else have any questions?
Yes, I see FITAF Pro Property Solutions. Afana has come to the stage. So Afana, welcome to Clubhouse. Go to the lower right-hand corner and click that mute button, and we'll be able to hear your question. And thank you to the people that have shared the room. Let's continue to share. Click that 19 and share that room on Clubhouse. So Afana, please let us know what your question is.
Hi, afternoon, or good morning, good evening, wherever you are. I'm in London at the moment.
Yes.
So this might be a dumb question. I am brand new to property. I don't have a mortgage.
Mhm.
But I was wondering, the principles that Dan was explaining, do they apply to mortgages in the UK as well?
Well,
Like just the general banking,
Well, we would have to make a few changes. We'd have to change it from dollars to pounds, but that's it. instead of saying instead of saving $150,000, we just have to say 150,000 pounds.
That is great to know. So very educative and very enlightening. I will just pay attention. Thank you.
You're welcome. Listen, by the way, we have clients in the UK right now, right in London.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, if this is something, when you're ready to go, just reach out to us and we'll help you there, because you access our opportunity cost calculator that does all of the work. It's a cloud-based computing system. So all you need is internet, and you can access our systems.
That's great. I'm just going to give you a follow now if I haven't already.
All right. Please do. Please do. Thank you very much. And listen, welcome to Clubhouse. And who did you just find Clubhouse, or did somebody introduce you to Clubhouse? Because we see you got your party hat.
Actually, I am new to Clubhouse. I don't know how I missed it throughout lockdown, but I'm new to Clubhouse and I'm just taking everything I can because you lot just give pure value.
Oh, well, listen, thank you so very much for that. And have a wonderful rest of your day. All right.
You too.
My niece is a vet, and she did part of her training to become a veterinarian in London. So I didn't get a chance to visit her there, but I do want to get a chance to visit the UK in the very near future. So thank you for being here. All right, folks. Any other questions?
Yeah, Jared, I don't know what you have on the stage, but we have just a quick little follow-up here from Living Water Quilter Online.
Go for it, Court.
Yeah, so she says, so based on what you shared, she's thanking you for the information, and she's saying, I guess that means I need to make the prepayment with that money from the inheritance.
Right. Now, what we need to figure out from there, Living Water Quilter, is how much of your money do you use as a prepayment? Because the balancing act is here. How much money do I use to save money and interest? Or how much of my money should I use to invest to grow my wealth? There is a balancing act. So what we do is what's called critical point, critical point analysis. You want to know, what is that point where more money is too much money on either side of that question? How much should go to debt elimination? How much of your money should go to wealth creation? And in what increments? Our program does all of the math, and we help you to structure all of that so you're saving the maximum amount of interest that you can per dollar, and you're making interest the maximum amount you can per dollar with the money you have to work with, so that you're never wondering, and when you're looking at opportunity costs, says, well, listen, I saved this much interest, but you know what? By the same token, I could have made this much money if I had invested properly. So you never want to be the losing end on either side of that question. So find out how much money of your inheritance you're going to need to put towards debt reduction and how much towards wealth creation. And we're perfectly suited to help you to figure that out. And so that your money will be at the best and highest use available, all figured out, not by human beings, but by computers that crunch thousands of bits of data. I mean, millions of bits of data in just a few seconds to give you instructions on how to best use your money. That's what we bring to the table. Thank you very much for your question, Living Water Quilter. What else do we have?
That was good. I just wanted to kind of point out to her that if she does want to use that critical point analysis, to head over to ice10klive.com and get a savings and earnings report. But we do have another follow-up question here,
Yes.
based on what Living Water Quilter asked. Doug says, can we apply the same method? So essentially what you just talked about for Living Water Quilter, can we apply that same method to a car loan?
Listen, folks, if your loan charges interest, we need to talk. If they're charging interest, these loans are charging more interest than you need to pay. More interest than you need to pay. For example, I'm going to put a new, we've used this example before, but this is killer. All right. Watch this. Here is $9,500. This is a student loan. Okay. At 6%. Okay. The payment is $50 a month. And so this person just graduated from college, but they did very well with their money. They have a student loans that are left of $9,500 at 6% interest, and he's paying $50 a month. Okay. So if we do this, calculate that, it'll come out to how many payments? 601 payments. That, my friends, is over 50 years. So any loan that's charging interest is charging more interest than you need to pay. So let's look at all of the loans. Let's save money on all of them by taking this information. And for the first time, the things that we should have learned in school, that should have been available to us in school, as I should say. Let me stop right here, okay? Let me get a drink of water. Let me stop right here, and I want to tell you something. What you know or don't know about loans isn't because you weren't paying attention in school. What we don't know about this system is because it wasn't available to be taught in schools. Sometimes I just get, I try to keep things light, and, we love to laugh here and we love to have a good time. But folks, this thing is serious. We are spending our children's inheritance on interest payments. The money that is going out for interest payments should be invested in your family's in your own family bank, growing generational wealth. But what we're doing is, because we haven't been taught, we get payments we can afford so that we can be interest generating machines for the rest of our lives. The payments are affordable, but they're set up so that you have to keep working to make the payments until we die. 9 out of 10 people will never pay off a mortgage. Just think about it. How many people do you know that have actually had a mortgage and paid it off? I don't care how old you are, it'll be less than 10% of the people you know. Why are we involved in a system where 90% of everybody you know will fail at doing the very thing they wanted to do, pay off their mortgage? We have turned the thing around where nearly 99% of our people who come on board with us pay off that mortgage in 7 to 9 years. Some take a little bit longer, but the average is 7 to 9. So why, if most of our people actually achieve their goal, and most people who are not using our system will not achieve their goal, then folks, we're here so that you can get this information. Go to ice10klive.com right now and get your savings and earnings report. Find out the month, day, and year you could be debt free, and stop, and I mean stop, giving all of that money to the bank. They don't need it. You do. All right. Back to the moderators.
That's all we have online. So I'll throw it back to you, Jarrett.
All right, and I see a hand has been raised, so I'm bringing Karen back up, and then Don, there's a request to turn your volume up. Still, it sounds good to me, but to others it might still be low. So
Okay.
It sounds really good online as well. So I don't know.
All right. So are they in the room or are they outside the room? Okay. So I just bumped it up, and I bumped my microphone up. But Kurt, it sounds good to you?
It sounds good to me, and I was actually listening on Clubhouse as well, and it
All
sounds
right.
good there. So Jarrett, you're saying it sounds good to you too?
yeah, it sounded good to me the whole time, but other people in the chat and on text have been saying it sounds low. So
Okay.
maybe if you turn your volumes up, if you feel it's low, just turn your volume up as high as possible, and maybe that'll help.
Okay.
That being said, Karen is back on stage. Karen, what's up? What you have an additional question?
Yes. So something that I heard that just caught my attention. He stated that money you are paying in interest should be invested in your own family bank.
Yes.
So what does that mean?
Okay. Here's what we're talking about. All right. I'm going to put another example on the screen, but you can't see it, right? Because.
Right.
Okay. All right. Are you feeling a little better?
Yes.
Okay. Because
I'm trying to make a plan of attack. So I had to come back out because I'm listening to you at my desk. But when I need to speak, I got to get out and run to the restroom. So when you said that, I was like, oh, I got to get up.
all right. So here's what I'm talking about. Okay. So I'm putting, I'm changing screens here so that when you see the replay, all right, you'll be able to figure it out. And what's the timestamp on the replay on starting this example?
1 hour 44 minutes.
So you want to go to 1 hour 44 minutes for this example here. Okay. All right. So now we're going to share a different screen. And there we go. And there it is. So I've got an example that I call what's a high interest rate. But here's what we're talking about. This particular loan for this particular client, they have $108,000 left to pay. Okay, $108,000, and they have and the bank says that we would like for you to pay that over the next 19 years, and it's going to cost them $43,000 in interest. Okay. But we're going to show them how to do that with only $17,000. That's a $32,000 savings. $32,000 in interest we're saving them. You got me, Miss Karen?
Yes.
But they're supposed to be out of debt in 19 years. We're going to get them out of debt in 4.4 years. So that's about 15 years, okay, without a mortgage, according to their plan. What if they were to take that money that they're saving in an interest and invest it in themselves? Do you realize what we calculate that they could make with that money instead of giving it to the bank for the next 15 years, since they're going to be out of debt in 4? Do you realize it would be at least $477,960 in their own family bank?
No.
Yeah. Yeah, that part. Instead of giving it to, I'm going to put another one up. Let me see what do I have here? Okay, let me see here. Is this one here? I'm going to see if I'm going to try to find one that is. Oh, here is one. This is a real estate investor, Miss Karen. All right, it's got like $2 million in investment properties, but so he's very happy in the kind of money he's making. His mortgages on these properties, all right, come to about $14,000 a month. But because he's renting it out, you know how much he's making? Over $40,000 a month. Okay. So he's making money, right? So he's satisfied with the 21.9 years he had left until he read my book. When he read my book, he says, yeah, I'm going to pay it off in 21.9. And I'm making a lot of money because I'm looking at how much my mortgage payment is and how much I'm collecting in rents, which is a pretty good deal. But when he's
still on their amortization schedule.
Oh, come on, sister. You listen, you need to come back in here every day and help me teach this. From the bathroom.
Right.
Okay. So on their amortization schedule, they want him to pay $1,123,195 in interest. Even though he is paying out monthly $14,000, but he's making $40,000. He never realized he was paying out $1,123,000 in interest over the 21.9 years. He never added it up. So here's what we're doing. With us, he's able to pay off that debt of $2,236,000. He's able to do it with only $243,000 instead of $1,123,000. Wow. He's going to be saving over $800,000 in interest. Are you hearing me, Miss Karen?
Plus, he's still getting paid by the renter.
Right. Come on, see, you're not missing a trick here. But he's going to be done in 4.9 years. Right. So what could he do with that money over the next 18 years? Put it into his own family bank and grow it to $9,699,000. Wow. That's what we're talking about. Stop giving it to the bank and start investing in yourself. So, Ms. Karen, what we're going to be showing you is not only how to get out of debt, but how to take that money you would have given to the bank and grow your own family bank. And do you know what vehicle he's using to invest his money in? The vehicle is called permanent life insurance.
I knew it. I was scared to say it. I knew it, though.
Permanent life insurance, because this is a seasoned investor, a savvy investor. So he says, I'm going to take this money and put it in my permanent life insurance policy, because as it grows, do you realize it grows tax-free? No taxes on that money. When he's getting ready to retire and he wants to start pinching off that $9 million, he spends it tax-free. Lord have mercy. I hope you're not falling down in the bathroom.
I'm pointing at them like y'all days are numbered. Like, I'm getting it. Like, it's clicking. I'm having my aha moments right now.
Wow. I am so glad, Miss Karen. And how did you happen to come into the P.I.L.L. Method room this morning?
just sitting at my desk, and I was in a boring meeting. I was like, let me see if anybody on Clubhouse. And that's how it happened.
Listen, Miss Karen, would you do me a favor and just share this a couple of times? And listen, folks, did you hear what she just said? I think that's worthy of enough shares to get us to 30. Okay, let's get us up to 30 shares out in the hallway so other people can get this information. Miss Karen, do you have any other questions for me?
No, that helped a lot.
All right, so now,
one other question.
Come on with it.
So when you decide to get hearing chatter about, oh, you can be your own bank, but you got to get a whole life policy or some type of IUL policy.
Mhm.
I didn't know the whole policy thing. So that's why I guess when you said how he's doing it, I was like, he's probably going to use this life insurance that I keep hearing about.
Yes, ma'am.
But so do you have a particular life insurance company that you use?
Well, see, you would have to ask me that. Listen, our company in 2020, the very year of the pandemic, okay? Our company that we use is called Columbus Life. They have, these insurance companies have a rating system, and with this particular rating system is called a Comdex rating system. It's a 100-point system, and we use the IUL or Index Universal Life product from Columbus Life. Out of 100 points, they get a 98. There's no higher rated IUL in the country. And because of our efforts with our clients, so our clients are building their own family bank. Just from our clients alone, who are not just saving money and interest, but building their own family bank. Do you realize our company was number 3 in the entire country with Columbus Life because we're helping so many people? Number 3, not a number 3 in Alabama, number 3 in the entire United States in insurance sales, our company. And that's why we got invited to Western and Southern, the Western and Southern Open in Columbus, because Western and Southern owns Columbus Life. And so we got to go to the Open and sit in the box for that tennis tournament with the president of the company. That is what we're doing for our clients, is so that they can not only save money and interest, but they can become their own family bank. And most of these people will become millionaires because of the money they're no longer giving the bank. How would you like for that to be you, Miss Karen?
I'd love it. Let me be on the poster. Put me up.
Come on now. That's exactly what we're talking about. I want to thank you. Listen, you can keep, there's nobody else on that needs to ask a question. So if you have the floor, what else do you need to know?
Okay, so then let's go. So is it as simple as with this permanent life insurance policy? I'm 51.
Mhm.
So I go out, my girlfriend sells insurance. So
Yes.
she told me that, oh, it's gonna be high for you. You're older. And I was like, well, I keep hearing rumblings like, you can borrow money tax-free, versus this ain't like a 401k and
That's true.
nothing like that. Like, this is totally tax-free money
Mhm.
if I just get a policy.
Mhm.
So she kind of talked me down from it, telling me that the policy was going to be too high because I was older.
Mhm.
Does that matter at this point if I'm trying to do what we just talked about?
Well,
Put
listen.
it in there, let it grow tax-free, pinch off it tax-free, pay it back tax-free.
I tell you what, contact us. We'll run the numbers for you. It's called an illustration. And do you, I'm getting a little personal here, but do you have children?
No.
Okay. Do you have nieces and nephews?
Yes, that's who this would be for.
Okay. Do you realize, since your insurance would be a little more expensive, do you know theirs is pretty cheap?
I can get a policy on each one of them. Yeah. I'm telling you, the aha moments are happening.
Listen, I wish there were more people like you, because I'm telling you, you're picking up on this thing so fast. You're finishing my sentences. You're right.
Okay,
So that's
use them since it's for them anyway.
that's right. And it's very cheap for them. And guess what? You can get what's called an insurability rider. You know what that is?
No.
An insurability rider means that no matter what happens to them in the future, as far as medical conditions, they can never, ever be denied insurance. Let me tell you a little story about me. Before I knew any of this, okay, this year, my wife and I will be married 21 years. So when we were married, we both got large insurance policies, but they were term insurance. 20-year term. And you're looking at
That's what I have now. It's getting ready to end.
Yeah. See, that's what happened to me. So like I said, we were married. This year we'll be married 21 years. I actually outlived my policy. Now, here's what happens. So now to get more insurance will be very expensive for me. Okay. Now, here's what you need to hear and hear this very well. During that time, I got cancer. I am a cancer survivor. Even though I've been doing very well since 2014 when I had the surgery and everything. All right. Doing very well since then. Do you know it's very hard for me to get insurance now? Extremely hard.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had gotten a whole life policy, if I had just known the difference. You see, I went online and got my insurance because that's what I heard. You can go online and we'll do all of this and we're going to make sure that you get the cheapest policy. But I went online. I didn't talk to an insurance agent. I went online and got mine because I got all of this insurance for very little money. I had no idea that only 2%, mind you, 2% of all term policies ever pay out. Only 2%.
And back then, they weren't offering like whole life. You were being given term life.
Right. So listen, I hope that now that you're learning more about this, okay, we would never talk you out of it. We would show you the numbers. We would show you an illustration. And in fact, for those people who want to see, I'm putting an illustration on the screen right now of an IUL. So I've got an illustration on there right now from Columbus Life Insurance Company, just because you asked about it. And I'm going to give you an example of what's going on. So let's go ahead and put that on the screen. And this is a 26-year-old person, okay? And they start out at 26, and they're putting $500 a month into this thing. And I want to show you what happens. After, this is an illustration, which means this information is not guaranteed, but this is historical data over about 20 years on what the averages this policy can make, okay? But last year, our clients made 18% on their money, not the 7% that is that we're talking about here. It's assumed, not a guarantee, but it's assumed that this grows at 7%. Okay, but last year our clients made 18. All right.
Is that the minimum guarantee?
Well, see, there is no guarantee. The minimum on this is you don't lose money.
Okay. It's
called zero is your hero. So even if there's a downturn in the economy, you can never lose money in this policy. Okay. So we're putting in $500 a year. I mean, $500 a month on this, $6,000 a year. Okay. So for the first 10 years on this policy, this person has paid in $60,000. Okay. Now the cash value on this after 10 years is $60,827. So not much more than the $60,000 you put in. Follow? Okay. But the death benefit starts out in the first year at $347,000. At the end of 10 years, it grows to $403,000 is the new death benefit. And this $60,000 they have in the policy, do you realize you can borrow against that? You don't even need to have a job. At this point, if you wanted to go out and buy a $40,000 car, you can take $40,000 out of this policy, and you're not borrowing your money. You're borrowing the company's money. Your $60,000 continues to work and gain interest, okay, and dividends. All right. But after 20 years, he's got $120,000 in, and now it would be worth $197,000, and he has $120,000 in. Do you see how much it grows? But his death benefit has grown to $540,000, over $500,000. Now let's go down to where he is now getting ready to retire. So we're going to scroll down here a little bit, and because we're running out of time. Okay, so we are, all right, wait a second here. Come on, computer, stop messing with me. All right. All right, so now he's at, come on, keep going. All right, so now we're at age 65, okay? At age 65, he's paid in $240,000. You follow? Mm-hmm. But his policy is worth over $1 million right now, cash value. And all he's put in is $240,000, and he stops putting money into the policy at this point, not another dime into the policy. The next year, that year, he stops putting money in the policy, he can take out $84,000. That's in addition to his retirement fund. He can take out $84,000 out of this policy a year until age 100. In the first 10 years, from 65 to 75, he's taken out $840,000. And remember, how much has he put in? $240,000. He can take out $840,000 in the first 10 years. Do you know what his cash value is now? It started out at $1 million. Even though he's taken out $840,000, the cash value is $1.9 million. It continues to grow. That's what I'm talking about, building your own family bank, Miss Karen.
I got it. I followed.
Okay. Contact us, and I'll have one of our insurance agents run this information for you and for your nieces and nephews that you want to make sure that there's plenty of money for. Okay. You got our you got our phone numbers. You got the ice10k.com. I mean,
I got the
ice10k live. Good. All right. Contact us. We'll have one of our insurance agents do an illustration for you and see if what we can do to help out. Thank you very much for bringing your question to us today. Jared, it looks like we have just one last question, but they're on the phone right now.
Yeah, so I know we're at the end of the hour as well.
Yep.
So what we can do is I'll back channel Judy and let her know to pull up on us on Sunday.
Yep.
At 9:30 a.m. Eastern time, and we'll make sure that she's first in line to ask that question.
All right.
But I want to thank everybody for being in the room today. If you haven't already, make sure you click that greenhouse at the top and follow the P.I.L.L Method Club. If you haven't done so already, make sure you click on Don's profile, give him a follow, click that always on notification next to the follow button so that you'll be alerted every time he pops into any real estate, financial literacy rooms on Clubhouse. And most importantly, whenever we open up these rooms, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern time, and then Sunday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. Also, want to encourage everybody to click Ice10K Live and follow Don on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and LinkedIn. He curates content on all of those platforms in unique ways, and you want to be seeing that on your timeline whenever you log on to those social media channels. All right, so what we're going to do is go through some moderator outros. But before we do, Don will let you to just give a final word on the event that's going on in Nashville, how they can get in touch with you, and your best-selling book. All
right, folks. Listen, what we're going to do is this. Let's talk about the book. Get the book today, and it's the only book on Amazon that talks about what we're going over today. All right. So if you want to educate yourself and educate your children and educate your families, get the book not only for yourself, but get a couple of copies for other people and spread this information around. I need your help to get it out there. Once you get the book, you'll get a 10K card to go along with it. And it will give you the instructions on how to upload the receipt and how to get your 10K card. Okay, that's number one. Number two, we want you to get your savings and earnings report. Go to ice10klive.com and click the link that says get your savings and earnings report, fill out, follow all of the information, all the instructions, and then we'll let you into the financial form, put your financial form in. And then once we put your financial form in, you'll be able to, we'll be able to tell you the month, day, and year you'll be debt free. Okay. So next, so what we're going to do now is talk about the our conference that's coming up, developing a spiritual money mindset. Developing a spiritual money mindset. Be there in May 20th through the 22nd. Our last thing we're going to hear from me after the moderator outros, we're going to hear from Eric Thomas, who's going to take us right into our outro music. So let's cue up Eric Thomas and be ready for that. So Jared, let's go ahead, and we've got that on the screen. So let's go ahead and do our outros, and then we'll hear from Dr. Eric Thomas.
All right, cool. Coffee, are you around to do an outro? All right, so everybody just click on her profile, read her bio, give her a follow. She hosts a lot of great content on Clubhouse. Olivia, are you in a position to do an outro? All right, she's probably closing a deal on one of her properties. But again, check out her bio. She does a lot of amazing things in real estate, credit repair, etc. And she hosts a lot of great content. So definitely make sure you give Olivia a follow. Credit Goddess, are you around to do an outro?
Yes, I am. Hey, everyone. Great room as usual. And Karen took us on a spin with all the questions she had. And I hope you guys learned from the questions that she answered, that she asked and Don answered. On my end, if any of you guys are looking for any personal or business credit services done for you or DIY, definitely tap in with me. Text your name and email address to the number in my bio. That's 888-557-5778. And an automated link will be sent to you. Book your consultation with me to discover which route you should go in improving your credit if you are credit challenged. If you are not credit challenged and you are looking to build and establish your business credit, definitely tap in with me. I do have a DIY and a done for you services. Once you tap into the business credit, they lend 10 to 100 times more to you to grow and expand your business. So definitely tap in with me. Don't hesitate. Text your name and email address to 888-557-5778. And I look forward to assisting you guys. And thank you guys so much for being here. See you guys on Sunday.
And we're back. Jared, how are you?
Good, brother.
Man, I'm going to use this opportunity to do a shameless plug. I was so excited over the last 2 days and something I'm launching. We are officially launching the largest Clubhouse directory ever. Everyone on Clubhouse with a 10K card will now be able to become a part of the Clubhouse directory, where we're going to categorize that directory by profession, by state, by industries. So whatever you do, wherever in the world you are, people will be able to find you. And on it, as you're rightfully flashing Credit Goddess, we're going to have a section for credit. So guess who's going to be the first credit member on that tab? Here we go. So, when you spend times in these rooms, guys, my one focus is finding the needs. How can we solve a problem? And if there are people in this room that's like, okay, good, Don has helped me to save an interest payment. Jared has helped me to become an awesome moderator. Credit Goddess has helped me to repair credit. Kenyatta has helped me with business funding and structure my company. So if you have a random thought and you want to go somewhere to find all these professionals, there's going to be one place that you can go now to find everyone on Clubhouse with credentials. Because if you don't have a 10K card, frankly, I don't really trust you. And step two, so will the audience. So once you are a credible member of the 10K card family, they will be able to find you on that networking card. So we can launch that today. But for today, guys, I want to recommend everyone take action on what you've heard in this room today. Also, most importantly, secure your ticket for the events. We're going to be there, and we're looking forward to seeing you there as well. With that said, back to you, Jared.
I love that idea, 10K.
It's been long and waiting. It's finally here.
Awesome. Kenyatta.
Kenyatta.
As always.
I was going to. It was you.
Uh-oh. She sounds like she's with a client. Go ahead, Jared.
No worries, Kenyatta, but I'll do a little outro for you. So Kenyatta is our official lender of the P.I.L.L method. So if you are looking for financing for any deals, you should hit up Kenyatta, check out her 10K card, check out her bio. She does a lot of amazing things. She'll also be in Nashville, May 20th to the 22nd. And yeah, if you want to be in the right rooms, in the right places, definitely make sure you follow Kenyatta. Check her out on her social medias as well. And my name is Jared Alberton. I've been in tech for over 15 years. I'm passionate about getting our community as early adopters in tech, metaverse, NFT, and crypto space. If you go to my Instagram, we'd love for you to follow me there. Follow me on Twitter and check out the link that's in both of those bios. That is a 5-episode season I'm doing on another app where we'll be diving deep into the metaverse, and you'll be part of my private Discord for only $30 for the entire season. Also, make sure you click that link at the top, ice10kevents.com, because I'll be in the building talking about mindset that has helped me get to where I'm at in life, but more importantly, the mindset that everyone should be taking into Web 3.0, the metaverse, and all of these unknowns when it comes to the tech space, because if you don't believe you can do it, I want you to know why you should believe you can do it. And that being said, I'm going to pass it to Don so that he can close it out.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be right back here on Sunday. I want to thank you all for being here, asking your questions and sharing the room. I want to thank you for following me and following the rest of the moderators. If you haven't had a chance to do that in the next few seconds. Go ahead and follow me and follow the moderators and follow the room so that you'll get notification every time we pop up. We're going to be doing more pop-ups talking about developing a spiritual money mindset so more people can know about this fabulous event that's coming up in May. And our keynote speaker, the #1 motivational speaker in the world, is Eric Thomas, and we're going to give the final words to him. Eric Thomas, what do you got to say?
This is an opportunity of a lifetime. Your grandma counting on you to do the right thing. Your mama counting on you. Your cousins, your brothers and sisters are counting on you to cash in on this opportunity. Everybody want to be a beast. Until it's time to do what beasts do. There are kids that don't eat like you eat. They're at the same university. They don't get what you get. But with this right here, your skill set, this thing can take you wherever you want to go and then take your kids wherever you want them to go. You know how many people would die to have the gear y'all got? You know how many people would die to get on these planes and travel the world? You know how many people would die to have your life? And you got it. Let's go. You got money, but do you got that dog? Yeah, you got money, you got privilege, but do you got that dog? Do you got that stamina? So yeah, you might have something I don't have right now, but if I work hard, I can have what you have. I want you to chant it out. This is it. Be phenomenal or be forgotten. 1, 2, 3. Be phenomenal, be forgotten. 1, 2, 3. Be phenomenal, be forgotten. Last time. 1, 2, 3. Be phenomenal, be forgotten.